Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear. What's up, Joe Bear? In the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods here on Saturday. It is Cowboys-Eagles Eve. Tomorrow night, the heavyweight fight, Cowboys versus Eagles. And it's funny because, last year the Cowboys ended up beating the Eagles both games. Now, the Eagles will dispute, they have selective memory when it comes to those. They come up with excuses. You can't count the first game because that was early in Nick Sirianni's career. We know it was 42-21, but it don't count. It don't count. And then the second game, we were resting our starters. So, it doesn't really count as a victory. Then take away the Washington COVIDs then. Because Washington had nobody on their roster that wasn't out for COVID. They snatched a practice squad quarterback the week of the game. But you count that one, though, don't you? That's all good. It's all good. And the Eagles are feeling confident. They are looking everywhere. I want to bet a Cowboy. I want to bet a Cowboy. Okay, I hear you. You smell blood in the water. Dak Prescott's not going to play. The Cowboys didn't sign big-name free agents. You guys got that great running attack, that high-scoring offense and stuff. You got Jordan Davis, the NFL, the coming of Reggie White again or something like that. You guys are playing at home. 6.5-point favorites. Of course you want to bet. Of course you do. Little old poor Dallas Cowboys having to face the Eagles. It is the Gladiators versus the Christians. We got no chance.
Is this not why you were here?
Yeah. Isn't this not why you were here? Yes. Is this not why you are here? So, according to Stephen Jones yesterday, that they believe that Dak Prescott will be ready by week number 8. So that means this week against, of course, the Eagles will be Cooper Rush. Then the following week against the Detroit Lions. And then he'd be ready to field the team against the Bears. However, what's kind of crazy is the contradictions of Dak being listed as questionable. Now, interestingly enough, early part of the week, Nick Sirianni said that, hey, we're going to account for Micah Parsons for every play. We're going to account for him. Yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you. Because I'm sure that the other 5 teams that played the Cowboys this season, none of them thought about doing that. Nobody's actually tried to account for Micah Parsons all season. You are the genius that actually remembered to say, hey, light bulb just came on. We're going to stop Micah Parsons. Okay. Good luck with that. Because I've seen him going through with a pulled groin through double teams getting sacks. The amount of players you're going to have to try to use to negate him, just going to open the door up for others. This is a defense that's actually pretty complete. I know Cowboy fans, we're never satisfied. We'll say, oh, get rid of Anthony Brown. Oh, man, get rid of Van Der Esch. Man, I'm sick of that guy. This defense is pretty complete. Diggs After everybody talking about how much he was asked after getting 11 interceptions, he said, hold my beer. I'm going to show you what a shutdown corner is. And he's been doing that and still taking away the football. Micah Parsons, we're going for Super Bowls. 15 sacks, yeah, that'd be nice, but I'm going to keep my eye on that record. And with 6 in 5 games, good luck at stopping that defense. And as DeMarcus Lawrence put it, some people are saying, oh, my God, DeMarcus Lawrence, how dare he? I don't think the Cowboys or the Eagles, that either side needs to have any extra motivation. I honestly don't believe that it doesn't matter what any of those guys say or any of our guys say, that everybody is ready to rock and roll in this game. I just honestly don't believe that anybody needs any motivation. The fact that DeMarcus Lawrence said, hey, yeah, they're good, but they ain't played us. And I have to agree. The Cardinals defense, they ain't us. The Detroit Lions defense, they ain't us. The Minnesota Viking defense, they ain't us. They ain't faced a defense like this. Now, the key for this game is going to be rush lane integrity, gap control, caging Jalen Hurts so he can't reel off. He's averaging about 14 runs a game. So he cannot reel off chunk plays in the running game. You do that, get him one-dimensional, and let that rush. The amazing thing about that pass rush that we have is that they're getting to the quarterback without blitzing, with the front floor. They're doing different looks. Sometimes you might see one man, one down lineman, and you got 3 guys standing in the gaps that are so fast that you can't shut them down. Sometimes you'll see D-Law and Micah on the same side coming at you. Good luck at that. And I believe the Cowboys have a chip on their shoulder because of everybody literally just disrespecting them. It's like, hey, we did win the division last year. The last time they beat us, we had Ben DiNucci, and the game was still in doubt in the second half. I think the Cowboys, actually, they're ready to rock and roll. I think they're chomping at the bit. Now, the concerning thing for us, which is going to be important because you have to figure that what the Eagles' game plan will be is we're going to try and shut down the run and try and make Cooper Rush beat us. Is CeeDee Lamb didn't practice yesterday because of a hip, which was kind of a surprise. Hopefully it's nothing bad. Hopefully it was just giving him an extra day of rest. Yesterday is the recovery day practice for the Cowboys anyway. Today is basically a walkthrough before they hop on the plane and go to Philadelphia. So hopefully it was just like, just take the day off because you're going to need that guy. The passing game is going to need to step up because the Eagles do have a formidable defense. They do have a good front. It will be tougher sledding to run the football, in which case you're going to need Cooper Rush's arm. Now, I hope and pray that we don't get into the 3 wide out, empty backfield sets and just try and sling the rock. We have to do play action. During the preseason, the Chargers versus the Cowboys, I did a film breakdown of a series, which was like a textbook drive that the Cowboys did against them with Cooper Rush. Got the ball on the 31-yard line. It was a thing of beauty. It's about a 22-minute long video. I may cut it down some. But when you look at the play designs, when you look at the play calling, the way they mixed it up, every time the Chargers figured, oh, okay, we got to stop the run, then you hit them with a quick pass. Oh, okay, so we got to cover, Jalen Tolbert, down deep. And then all of a sudden you go to a tight end screen or a reverse. It was a great mix of play calling that gave you an advantage and had the defense literally on their toes. I think I will cut that down so that way we can look at that as well. But definitely, we need to keep the Eagles on their toes. Now, I got a lot to do today because tomorrow's game day. We're going to be live starting at 12:45 all the way through the Dallas Cowboys game. We're going to start out with the Giants game early. Rashid will be in the house. I think we're going to have quite a few people here. And we're doing the big steak and cheese sub. But let's listen to the experts out there, the guys that let us know that our season was over, if the Cowboys can stop Jalen Hurts.
We've got great games in every window on Sunday, early, late afternoon, and evening. And the nightcap, the 4-1 Cowboys at the 5-0 Eagles. After last week's win against the Arizona Cardinals, Jalen Hurts said he doesn't like hearing 5-0 next to the Eagles. He was asked if, despite not liking it, can he appreciate the fact that they have won every game they've played this year. Here's his response.
It's very hard to win in this league, and I think that's the balance that I have to obtain in knowing how hard it is, but also being eager and hungry to want more. I mean, and that's what it is. When you have self-disappointment, that should breed to self-improvement, and just striving for more. And that's always what I'm going to do. Enough is never enough, and it's always going to be that way. And for me, win, lose, or draw, the process remains the same, and it goes on.
We've seen Jalen Hurts one other time in prime time this year, Peter. That was week 2, part of the Monday night overlapping doubleheader, the game against the Vikings. Hurts was spectacular, but you know what? The Vikings defense is not spectacular. It's the opposite of spectacular. And DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys made a very important comment yesterday. Not so sure I'd feel comfortable about the fact that he's putting that noise out there if I'm a Cowboys fan, but he basically said we don't know how good Jalen Hurts is because he hasn't played us yet. And that's the great unknown here. Is Hurts going to be able to continue to do what we've seen him do all year long against one of the best 2 defenses in the NFL? Neither the Cowboys nor the 49ers have allowed a single team to score 20 or more points all year long. The Cowboys, the old doomsday defense, remember that, Peter? The doomsday defense of the 70s, they're back. And we'll see if Jalen Hurts can get it done against a unit that is that good at every level.
Look, we could argue probably, Mike, about what offensive line is the best in football right now. Some people might say Cleveland, which has had a very good start to its season. I'd probably say Philadelphia, just edging Kansas City and Cleveland. And what's made Philadelphia's offensive line so impressive is that they've had injuries. And now left tackle Jordan Mailata is, dealing with a shoulder injury. And, the 2 tackles in this game, because of the incredible speed around the edge, the LT-like speed of Micah Parsons, are going to have to be totally on their games Sunday at the Link. But the one other thing I think I would say is, look, there's one thing about Jalen Hurts that in the past, in the last few weeks, when Dallas has gone up against quarterbacks, and let's just use last week as an example. Matthew Stafford is not able to get away from DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. And I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to get away from every rush of those guys. But Jalen Hurts, he's averaging 14 rushes a game. And, of course, some of those are not designed runs. Some of them happen when you're flushed out of the pocket and you have to scramble. And he's done a great job doing that. So when I look at it, honestly, I understand the way DeMarcus Lawrence, hey, he hasn't played us yet. Their secondary has been excellent too. So this is a great test for Jalen Hurts. But the Cowboys haven't played Jalen Hurts yet either. And I just think I really have a lot of admiration for Jalen Hurts, how he's played, the way he's led his team, and Mike, his just overall ethos, okay? He doesn't have to, be the star. He doesn't even want to be the star. I'll tell you a very quick story. 2 weeks ago when I covered their game against Jacksonville, after the game, I spent about 10 minutes with him, and we were talking, and I said, how much have you learned from your dad? And, because his father in high school, Channelview High School, rather, in Texas, his dad was his coach. So twice in his answer, he called him Coach Hurts. And I just, there's something about that. It's very Texas in so many ways, but it's also almost, it just leads me to think that this is a guy who can be coached, wants to be coached. You talk to Nick Sirianni, he's the most eminently coachable quarterback he's had. So, look, this is going to be a really good game, but no matter what happens in this game, Jalen Hurts is the long-term quarterback for this team, and they're in very good hands.
Hi, it's Mike Flores.
Wow. Jalen Hurts is the long-term quarterback. It's amazing because, you never know what you don't know what you don't know. Because let's be clear here, Cowboy fans, the Cowboy fans, how many of you guys that are in Rush We Trust mode right now wanted to push him off the bridge in preseason? Honestly. People, now let's be clear here. I'm going to speak my piece here. Because a lot of y'all were saying Will Grier should be the starter. Will Grier should be the starter. Excuse me, the backup for Cooper Rush. A lot of y'all said when Dak got hurt, let's get Cam Newton. Let's see if we can trade for Sam Darnold. Let's see if we can get for Gardner Minshew from the Eagles. Nobody had faith in Cooper Rush. But one thing I did say this, and I think this is part of the reason why the Cowboys are doing well. And don't get me wrong, the Eagles, with the players that they brought in, I'm surprised how well they've actually meshed them into the fold because you don't practice that much. But having Cooper Rush, being here and understanding the playbook, understanding players like Noah Brown and things, having been around the system and understanding it, is better than bringing somebody else outside cold who doesn't know the terminology, doesn't know the players, and is going to be limited to what they can do. That is a fact. It's part of the reason why Cooper Rush is doing well. He knows everybody. They know him. They know his strengths and weaknesses. And they can use what he has that's good and know not to use what's bad. And in the same sense, part of the reason why the Cowboys have actually been successful with this defense and turning it around as quickly as they have been is, one, when they've gotten people, they have gotten them to fit the system. It's not about taking a guy. A guy can be a great, great player right here doing what he does. But if he doesn't fit your system and leaves people out to dry, it doesn't matter. It only takes one person to mess up on defense for a play to go to the house. This defense, now in the second year with Dan Quinn, with most of these guys that are young and can understand, they're like a sponge, soak it up. In the same defense, understanding the scheme, understanding my role, understanding where I'm supposed to be, they're starting out ahead of all the groups that end up having so many new starters and things. And that's part of the reason why that defense is able to turn around. That, and Dan Quinn has had a vision. Fast and physical. We're going to get after the quarterback. It hasn't changed. It's just the faces have changed. And he has built the new Dallas Cowboys defense that it's going to scare people. And this is the opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys defense to really make a statement. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. If you're not excited about this, I guess you're dead. Because this, guys, it's going to be telling. Somebody is going to be butthurt come tomorrow. And I'm hoping it won't be the Cowboys. All right, y'all. I got to go get the big sub. The big sub. I got to go get some real meat. Not the dog meat like the Philadelphia Eagles eat. Get some nice ribeye. Woo! Whew, get that thing sliced and marinated tonight. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be so good. Anyway, hope you guys tune in tomorrow for what I think is the best game day experience, where we'll be following all the games, everybody. I'm Mark Holmes, and I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. You know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.